Hi, my name is Mars van Grottus. I'm the founder and CEO of Bearways. With Bearways, we want to solve major challenges of rural mobility. Just imagine, like Wayne, you love exploring the north of Michigan. You love the forests, the lakes. You might have an SUV, you have a tent, and you love going camping there with your kids. So you want to be in touch with nature, you want to experience nature. But you don't want to do things that are illegal. You don't want to crash your car on roads that are too harsh for you. You don't want to get stuck in mud due to a weather change. So what do you really lack today? You lack information on where you want to be going and what kind of experiences, what kind of circumstances will you meet there. And that's exactly what Bearways is addressing. The problem is that 50% of the global population, not only Wayne from Detroit, 50% of the global population lives in rural areas. And these rural areas are connected with non-paved roads. 80% of the roads that your personalized navigation system identifies are not paved. And these non-paved roads are highly affected by weather, highly affected by the seasons, by vegetation, by events like floods or bushfires. Because the surface can be anything. It can be sand, it can be mud, it can be gravel, it can be grass. And this is all highly affected. What does that mean? It leads to less reliable planning. It can cost much more time to go to one place to another, which increases the cost of transport as well as logistics. But it also increases the death toll, up to 700% more deaths and serious accidents on these roads compared to standard paved urban and highway mobility. And this is where we as Bearways want to solve and provide solutions. The pain points are really today's navigation systems focus on urban areas and highways. They don't work properly in rural areas. This creates accidents, this creates costs, this creates a number of unpredictable risks for people who want to or have to maneuver in those areas with their vehicles. So how are we going to solve it? Bearways is an artificial intelligence company. We're gathering, aggregating data from multiple sources. It can be topological data, it can be street data, it can be weather data. It can be data from sensors in the car as well as in your smartphone. We combine that with satellite data to get a global reach. Calibrate that in a database very, very accurately based on location as well as based on time. Then use methodologies from artificial intelligence, specifically machine learning, deep learning, vision processing, pattern recognition, to create in real time an information output. This information output enables a better routing and a better navigation. On long term, this information can also be used for adaptive car control, so that your car can use its capabilities best when it faces challenges. You might ask yourself, well, I have all that information. Yes, you do. You might have a weather app, you might have a navigation app, you might use a bicycle app to explore regions, you might use Facebook or other social media to find beautiful hotspots where you might be camping. But while driving, you can't be using 5 different apps at the same time and switch among them. The problem is, none of these apps creates a full-fledged experience that you, in the mobility, while moving, while having a mobility experience in these areas, are looking for. And that's what Bearways is all about, creating a full-fledged mobility experience on one platform. Already today, we have a functional prototype working in the car. So we can choose which kind of route do we want to take. Do we want to take the fastest route, what your today's navigation system would be offering, or do we want to use the adventurous route, where we explore beautiful scenery, might have a road challenge once in a while. We provide the routing, we provide the turn-by-turn navigation, we provide additional information for the route. What is the weather now? What is the weather going to be when you pass a certain point? What is the elevation? And the whole thing is already today running on mobile phones, on tablets, as well as on your car platforms, which you have used already today. Let's see a short video of a practical use. So what are the key differentiators? Well, first of all, we provide a vehicle-specific routing. It makes a difference if you drive an SUV or a Jeep or a normal sedan. You might choose different roads. We provide weather-dependent routing, and not only depending on what is the weather in this moment, but also what will the weather be when you reach a point of destination, maybe in 3 or 4 or 5 hours. It's all very user-centric, it's all very customized, and we also have a solution that provides sufficient data and information even if you don't have a data connection available, as very often in rural areas. The whole solution is already today protected by copyright, but we're also preparing several patents to have a good protection of the core elements of our solution. The business model is fairly easy. We're addressing and already today in touch based on our network with automotive manufacturers as well as suppliers, because we believe a deep integration into the vehicle's platform, into the vehicle's systems is core element for our success. We will then have a subscription-based licensing based on the numbers of cars rolling with our solution on. To get there, we need to do proof of concept projects with these customers and then step by step move forward to serial production. If we look at our roadmap, we're going to be starting this year with an Overlander app, addressing people who enjoy nature with their vehicle. This solution will be running on a mobile phone or on a tablet. Then we're going to come to a core. We're going to be delivering the solution in a layered architecture to the automotive manufacturers and tier ones. In the first step, information only. And in the second step, also using adaptive car control to create the best mobility experience on the spot with the capabilities of your vehicles. You might be questioning, are people willing to pay for this? Yes, they are. We made a user survey last year with several hundred Overlanders answering, and they pay up to 300 euros every year for paper maps, for data, for applications. For a full-fledged solution as Bearways we're going to offer, roughly 50% were willing to pay between 10 euro and 40 euro per year. So the market is there, the payment willingness is there. We simply need to build. Of course, there are competitors, but we prefer to see them as role models or partners, because the companies that are active in this field, they provide niche data, often in a very, very good manner. But as we have a layered architecture, we can use the data that we have, which is added one by one into our database. But for example, if an OEM says, I have a preferred contract with this or that weather supplier, we can take out our weather supplier, add theirs, and have a created solution within very short time based on the capabilities and the needs and the preferences of our customers. Bearways itself is built from a deep dream team of serial entrepreneurs. Sascha, Clement and myself, we founded and built the startup Gestigon before we moved on to Bearways. Gestigon was using machine learning in automotive. We created serial production products and sold the company to the French automotive tier 1 supplier, the Valeo Group, in 2017. In 2019, we founded Bearways, and we were able to attract a very nice seed round of automotive-minded investors pretty much after founding. Based on our vision, based on the funding, and based on the products we wanted to bring into market, a number of the core engineers from Gestigon followed us to the company. So we have 10x engineers in the company who build serial production products in automotive already. Based on this, we participated in the Plug and Play Accelerator end of last year in Silicon Valley. We are a winner of the European Space Agency Challenges 2020, and we won a number of public grants from the German government. My name is Mark van Grottus. I'm the CEO of Bearways. Thank you very much.